Thank you for tuning in to Lightning League TV, our last match of week 2, second match of the day, and we have Modesto City FC reigning champs versus inaugural side Porterville Roots. Porterville Roots lost 0-4 last week against Atletico Kerman. They are looking for their first win today. I'm your commentator, Julio C. Gonzalez Jr. Thank you for tuning in to Lightning League TV. We got a great game ahead of you.
I fly like crocodile and drink the blues out. I've always got an answer. The sun shines on my mind. I wanna break you. I gotta kill this on my face, man. I guess I was scared.
Things are almost underway. Please let us know where you're watching from. If you were not here with us earlier, Visalia FC beat Livingston FC 10-0. Yes, you heard that correctly, 10-0. Absolutely demolition job done by Visalia FC. They have now done it twice in a row. Visalia FC beat Northeast Chicos last week 10-0, and today they beat Livingston 10-0. 10-0. That is a double 10-0 win. They're at the top of the table, miles ahead of everybody else, with a goal differential of 20. No matter what happens today, Visalia SC will remain at top. However, if Modesto can win today, they can get into top 3 after week 2. So let's see if Modesto can do it. Porterville also is going to want their first win on the record. So let's see who wants it more. Hoping for a good one today. Looks like Porterville will be starting with the ball. Waiting on ref's whistle. And for our first official, we have Joe Flores. For our second official, we have Ramon Mendoza. Our third, we have Jesus Lopez. And our fourth, we have Jake Christensen. Just want to say big thank you to the refs. Without them, this would not be possible. As much as people will dislike refs sometimes and dislike their decisions, you gotta at least have a little respect for the refs. First earnest shot by Modesto City FC. And for Porterville Roots captain, we're going to have Eric Rincon. He's going to be their captain today. And Modesto City is going to have Jose Mosqueda. He is going to be the captain for Modesto City. Number 16. So you'll have Modesto City in the white, and you'll have Porterville Roots in that burgundy color. If you're watching, you can see the little scoreboard we have for you. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know where you're at, who you're rooting for. If you're rooting for anyone, or if you're just here to watch some good semi-professional soccer on a Sunday afternoon. We got people watching from Nicaragua. That is pretty sick. Shout out to Nicaragua. I think that is the furthest we've had so far, huh? Yeah, that's the furthest we've had. Oh, we had someone from Uruguay who want to tune in. Shout out Will, my unofficial official partner. You guys don't hear him on the stream, but he's a big help a lot. He's usually the one updating the graphics. So big shout out to Will. Here come Porterville Roots, coming right down the middle, kicking it out to the right, looking for a cross, met by Modesto City. Can they get it? Unfortunately, not. Modesto City is on that. Asking for it back. Passes it back. Modesto City calming down, slowing down the pace a little bit. Maybe that's what's needed. Sometimes when you get that ball back, you don't want to push a counter too fast. It's better to plan it out, and it looks like that's what Modesto City decided to do. And honestly, it is a smart decision. It is early in this game. You do not have to force anything right now. If something is open, take it. If not, just take your time. You have no reason to not. And it looks like we have a Porterville Roots throw-in. Just a reminder, this is Porterville Roots' inaugural season. They were not here last season. And just a heads up, if you were here, if you're tuning in just now, Modesto City is our reigning champs. They are the defending champs. Looking to win it again. I would circle whenever Modesto and Visalia play each other on your guys' calendars because that one is going to be a good one. Porterville and Visalia next Thursday, that's going to be a good one. That's going to be Porterville Roots' next match. Don't want to talk about that too much. I feel like we should focus on this one for them, but they will be next Thursday facing their regional rivals, which with the expansion of the Lightning League, it has been interesting being able to see more regional rivals. Modesto and Livingston are a bit close to each other, so maybe they'll become a regional rival. But Livingston definitely have to kick it up if they want to keep up with Modesto City, because Modesto City is a well-ran club, well-oiled machine, and Porterville Roots has the ball looking to find a leak in that machine. And it looks like they might be able to. Unfortunately, not enough burgundy shirts there. Nothing but white shirts. Modesto City very heavy on the defense. And it looks like we have a throw-in. A throw-in for Modesto City. It's going to be behind the line. First official, Joe Flores, was actually our second official this last game. Him and Ramon Mendoza, they switched. One was first and the other was second, and now you have the flip flop. It's gonna be interesting to see what kind of game he calls compared to Ramon. And here comes Porterville Roots looking for something. Modesto City couldn't clear it enough, but they play good defense, and the clearance is good. Can they keep it out? They get it back into Porterville Roots' half, so whether they get possession or not, at least they cleared the ball. And there goes Matthew Copeland, number 7, getting it away from Porterville, keeping it out of harm's way, getting it back to his midfield. His midfield drops it back to his defenders, and they're running back with the Porterville player right in front of them. A little odd, but they are not punished for that decision, so maybe it was the right decision. Modesto City looking for the long ball. Is anybody there to connect with it? There is somebody, but unfortunately, that touch is too heavy with that many defenders around him. He wasn't able to get the touch he wanted. That first touch is really important. If you can get a good first touch, get good control of the ball, you can get good rhythm, and hopefully you can score. But that first touch is very crucial, and unfortunately, he just didn't have a good one there. Porterville looking really strong today. That's not a handball? That's not a handball? I'm gonna be honest, guys. We've seen a lot of handballs today, and none of them were called. Um, maybe it's I just don't. Maybe I'm not smart enough to realize their hands are in a natural position. But some of them are really questionable. I feel like that one was really questionable. It is. Both sides looking really strong. Porterville Roots added 2 players after suffering a defeat last week. Added more depth to their roster. That's always a plus. Unlike last game, you look at the benches and both of them are pretty full, which does make for a more interesting match. I'm not saying watching 10 goals isn't interesting. It is. It just gets to a point where it's like, is this enough goals? Vicelli will tell you no. Sloppy pass from Porterville. We're going to have a Modesto throw in. Modesto City throwing, trying to find an opening in that third for Porterville Roots. Not able to find anything. Porterville Roots looking pretty solid in their defending third. Can they keep it up? Modesto City passing it back. Trying to plot out their next few moves more carefully. Going for the long ball. Unfortunately, it's met by Porterville Roots, and now they regain possession. Good little footwork right there to get the ball out of harm's way. But unfortunately, that touch on the pass was too heavy. Modesto City met it, but they kicked it out of bounds. So feels like nothing was lost there and nothing was gained there. We have someone rooting for Angel. That's going to be number 6 from Porterville Roots, Angel Morales. Shout out, Angel. For the person telling me to take out number 8, I don't make any of the roster moves, guys. Just a heads up, I'm just the commentator. And number 8 for which team? Sacan a la 8. ¿Cuál 8? ¿Cuál equipo? This is not a dual broadcast, by the way. We're not going to switch it to Spanish. That was just for the one time. Porterville asking for some ref interference, thinking that tackle might have been a little too rough. Tackles can get rough, unfortunately. I don't want to sound like an old head, but you watch modern day soccer, you forget tackles can be rough. Modesto City, very vocal goalkeeper. That's going to be Osvaldo Alvalos. He's going to be the goalkeeper. That's going to be Ozzy, number 1. Ozzy Avalos. Doing this little short passes while being pressed by Porterville Roots is risky. But Porterville Roots does not punish them for that decision. Maybe they should have. That was a little cocky, in my opinion. Oh, there's only 1-8 on the field. That's my bad. So you must be talking about Porterville Roots. There's 2. Oh, there is 2. I'm not crazy. Shout out, Will. Keeps me in line, guys. They're here. Good game so far, honestly. It's very, very back and forth. Not one side has been more dominant than the other. I know what you're thinking. Julio, it's only been 11 minutes. 11 minutes last game, it was 3-0. All right, so this is definitely a change of pace for all of us sitting in the booth. And there's 3 of us. Porterville Roots with a shot, but decides to go with the through ball, puts too much on the touch, and gets the goalkeeper, Ozzy, first. Ozzy being very vocal in that box. Honestly, sometimes that's what you need from your goalkeeper. You need them to be very talkative. You need to communicate. Sometimes they're the ones that see the most because of how they see the pitch. They see most of the pitch at all times, you know? So it's important when they talk. On the opposite side, we have Alberto Gutierrez as goalkeeper for Porterville Roots, number 21. So far, hasn't had too much to worry about in the past 5 minutes. Modesto City does have clubs in a bunch of different leagues. Their main club is in Nissa. If you don't know what Nissa is, it's a National Independent Soccer Association. It's just another league in the pyramid, but it's a good one, and they have a team in that. Pretty impressive. I think they've been in Nissa for 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. They have an expansion club in Sacramento, an expansion club in San Diego. Modesto City is all over California. It's actually pretty insane. And if you've never heard of them, now you have Modesto City. But I feel like we have a few Modesto City fans. In the chat last weekend, we had someone saying "A la Modesto," which is on par because their logo is a lot like Real Madrid's logo. Porterville with the through ball, looking for something. Unfortunately, Ozzy gets there first. Trips up Porterville's attacking player in that commotion, but he gets up and recovers pretty quickly. I like to see that. I don't like people staying on the ground looking for the foul and hoping for a good through ball. Porterville Roots gets to it. Unfortunately, Modesto City gets to it first, but it results in a corner, and that is our first corner of the day, ladies and gentlemen. That corner was awarded to Porterville Roots, and they decided to go with the short one. They're rushing it, shoots it, hits the side of the net. We have a goal kick. They rushed that corner. I'm honestly a little confused on why. They did not have that many people in the box. I mean, I know why they did it. They were trying to confuse Modesto City, but in that process, they also confused themselves, and unfortunately, resulted in pretty much nothing. If you're gonna rush on those corners, you got to make sure you're all on the same page. But Porterville Roots gets possession. We have two-hand push, and the ref calls nothing. Ref's letting a pretty physical game go through, and sorry to Will and Beth sitting next to me. They hear this all the time, but as long as you're a consistent ref, you're a good ref in my eyes, even if I don't agree with your calls. If you're gonna let a rough game be rough, let it go, but you can't automatically start calling random calls. You got to call the two rough ones because you don't want the game to get out of control, but don't call the soft ones and then automatically start calling them. And so far, Joe Flores has been letting all the rough plays go. So hopefully we let that continue and we keep seeing that. With the shot, Porterville Roots, unfortunately, nothing was there. Yeah, that was shot by Angel Morales, number 6. Looking for something there. We love football. We love soccer. We love football, whatever you call it. We love it. We're here for you guys. Modesto City with the goal kick, electing to do a short one. Had to pass it back because Roots are pressing. And the passes back have a little too much touch on them. And there we go, our first whistle of the game. If I'm being honest, it's a good one. That was a good whistle. Those are the kind of whistles you want to see. If they don't get ball, if they're clearly far off from the ball, then you want to blow the whistle. And that was a good one to blow, in my opinion. Modesto City hasn't been getting dominated by the Roots, but they're also not comfortable yet. They haven't found their rhythm, whereas the Roots have found their rhythm, and Modesto City have to disrupt that rather than focusing on getting theirs. Oh, there we go. There's another foul. That was a rough one. Let's see if we get a card. No cards given. They're talking to him. That was number 6, Santiago Avalos, who got talked to. He took down number 13, Adrian Gonzalez. A little rough there. And like I was saying earlier, that's a good one to call. You want to see stuff like that called by the ref because you let stuff like that go, that's when the game starts getting out of hand. You don't want to lose control of the game, especially when it starts to get physical. Looking for the cross. Not there. Almost there. Beautiful cross given by number 8, Eric Ricon. Also wearing the captain band. What a cross. Unfortunately, the cross was met by even better goalkeeping by Ozzy, and he stopped that one from going in. That was for sure going in if he wasn't there. Obviously, that's a dove. The goalkeeper's not there, but you know what I mean. Modesto City playing in their own third, which right now is pretty risky. I feel like they're playing a little too comfortably in their own third. Of course, as soon as I say that, they get a great counter. What do I know? Modesto City looking for something there. Hopefully the cross is there. It's met, but it's met by Porterville Roots. Porterville Roots maintains ball, and we get a foul on Modesto City. Modesto City was looking for that foul in the penalty box, but if we're being honest, I don't think there was anything there. I hate to use the word flop, but there's no other word to use when something like that happens. But at the same time, just know I don't fault the players for flopping. It's a part of the game at this point. If you think the ref's gonna give it to you, you gotta flop. My European club did the same thing recently, tied a game because of a flop, and they got the call. If you've been tuning in with us week or game, oh wow, that was given to Porterville. Don't know why that was given to Porterville. He jumped over the Modesto player. I guess if you're low enough, and that's a beautiful cross. Unfortunately, it has a little bit too much on it, and nobody was there to meet it before it dragged its way along the line and almost to the corner flag. But fortunately, Porterville was able to stop it before it went out of bounds, and they still maintained control of the ball, putting up a good fight. And it looks like we're going to have a Porterville Roots throw-in. If I'm being honest, so far, I know we one game at a time, right? But Porterville Roots is making me look forward to next week's matchup against Visalia FC. If they play like this, I think they'll give them a good fight, and that one's gonna be scrappy. I wish I could commentate that one. Porterville Roots with a long shot, not on target enough. Ozzy doesn't even have to worry about it. Just waiting for the ball. And again, if you did not tune into the game earlier, Visalia FC beat Livingston FC 10-0. Yes, 10-0. 10 as in 1-0. And ref calls that. He has to call these things, guys, because this game is getting scrappy. So he has to maintain control of this game. If you don't like it, I do apologize. Let us know why you're tuning in, who you're rooting for, where you're tuning in from. We love to interact with the chat because this is not like most broadcasts. We can see when you guys comment. Porterville Roots just been on the attack the whole past 5 minutes. Ref, Porterville Roots has to calm down. They cannot afford to get a card for dissent in such a rough game. The last reason you want to get a card in a game like this is for dissent. Calling for handball after handball after handball. Oh, I'm not even sure what that was. Head coach Taniana Huerta telling her players, I got the ref. You worry about the game. And I absolutely love to hear that from a coach. Absolutely love to hear that. You're a player, worry about the game. Coaches worry about the refs. I love that. You love to hear that. And in a semi-pro league like this, especially drilling that into these guys in such a lower league, not such a lower league, but in a lower league, it's important. It's important to know. So shout out to head coach Taniana Huerta. If I say that, mispronounce that, I apologize. And it looks, is that going to be a throw in or a corner? Looks like we're going to have a throw in. It didn't go behind the goal line. Yep, it went out of, oh no. It looks like it is going to be a corner. I did not think that was a corner. Porterville Roots really upset with this ref. Music does get played before the match and at halftime. Unfortunately, we don't want to play music during the match. We don't want to disrupt the players. We do play music for goals also. Don't forget that. If you were here for the Visalia, you would have heard 10 different songs. I almost thought that went in there. And it looks like Porterville got the last touch on it before one behind the goal line again. It looks like we have another Modesto corner. A lot of disdain for number 7 in the chat for some reason. I think Matthew's been playing a decent game so far. Goal, he gets a hand up there and knocks it out of there. That was a great effort on Modesto City. But goalkeeper Alberto Gutierrez said, get that out of here. Punched it. All I saw was a fist amongst heads, and it got the ball out of here. Great goalkeeping. Was in that bunch and just punched it out of there. But Porterville City playing with fire, passing it with these short passes. Found the through ball. Did he wait too long for that pass? He did not. Onside. I thought he might have waited a little too long, and I thought he ran offside. But unfortunately, he went for a ball across the field, and they kept it in bounds. I thought that was going to go out. Porterville roots with a cross, met by Modesto, gets it out of here. Modesto City looking for the attack. Porterville Roots kicks it up, looking for it. It's high. Modesto City gets it back. Porterville Roots trying to take it away. Modesto City passes it back to Ozzy. Passes it up. Taking their time now. Looking for their position. Porterville Roots intercepts it. Modesto City falls, looking for a foul. No foul given. Good call on the refs. 1-on-1. Nothing's there. But I do think he did tip it. Modesto City was the last one to touch it, and I do think we're going to have a corner kick. Oh, we're having a goal kick. I really thought that was going to be a corner. I thought Modesto City got the chip on the ball before it went out of bounds. I was wrong. That happens a lot. There's Modesto City back with the ball, but Porterville Roots have been all over them. This has been a great game. No disrespect to the game before this. Like I said, 10-0 is fun to watch in a certain aspect, but that game was very, very sluggish. The first 25 minutes felt like the first 50 minutes. And this game has almost hit the 30-minute mark, and it feels like I've been here for 10 minutes. This is a very enthralling game. And for anyone that says, wow, he said enthralling, I know big words, guys. Come on. I know this is more of a casual stream, but I know big words. I try to give you expert analysis. Porterville with the long ball. Nobody there except for Modesto City. Modesto City looking for the counter. Great through ball. Unfortunately, he's going to have to go through 3 or 4 defenders. As Modesto City gets the through ball. Alberto Gutierrez gets that ball. Great recovery. Porterville Roots had a lot of defenders there, but unfortunately, Modesto City was able to find the gaps and went through about 4 defenders. Pretty impressive. The shot just wasn't there. One of the touches had too much on it, and it went to Alberto Gutierrez. That was a great pickup by him. But here comes Modesto City again. They were about to hit a banger of a shot, but he just couldn't get his footing. A little awkward there at the end. The score for the Visalia game was Visalia 10, Livingston FC 0. Visalia has a goal differential of 20 goals in 2 games. That is actually wild. And their next game is going to be against the Porterville Roots. So that'll be a regional rivalry. That's going to be a really, really good game next Thursday, or this Thursday coming up. We're on Sunday. Ball's out of bounds. I'll go over some of the scores. So on Thursday, we had CSC Kovcheg versus CV Fuego. Kovchek won that 2-0. On Saturday, we had Clovis Mong versus Kalinga. Kalinga won that 2-1. We had Madera Union versus Atletico Kerman. Atletico Kerman won that 4-1. Then we had Madera Evolution versus Selma FC, and that one ended in a tie 0-0. Those were from around the league. Chat's going wild over number 8. We got an offside call given by our line ref or line judge, whichever one you prefer. I honestly, Porterville saw Aussie out, thought they could take a shot, got a little cute with it, as some might say. Some might say clever. I'm gonna say cute. And unfortunately, just had a little too much on it. It went right over goal. We're past the 30-minute mark, got about 15 minutes left of play in the first half. Both sides looking really, really good. Oh yes, San Joaquin. San Joaquin beat the Northeast Chicos 4-0. Thank you for that. I knew I was missing a game. Modesto City finds something. Unfortunately, Porterville Roots snips that out. Roots on the ground was still able to maintain possession, taking the attack. Modesto City has not found a response to the attack. But on the flip side, Porterville Roots has not found anything in that last pass. They just can't find that last pass. They get everything but that last pass when they're in the final third because they're doing pretty good. You see what I mean? That would have been the last pass. But it wasn't on target, and it was met by Modesto before it was met by the head of a Porterville player, and that was the goal there. So they're doing really, really well in Modesto's third. They just cannot find the last pass they're looking for. But yeah, San Joaquin again won 4-0 against the Northeast Chicos. Oh, that pass had too much on it for Porterville. Went straight to Modesto, but Porterville said, "Let me get that back, son," and they did. But went straight to Modesto throwing. But that's okay because it's better to get that ball out of there so your teammates can get in place. And look at now they are. Now they're defending well. Had you not kicked it out of bounds, maybe they weren't be there, and maybe that's a goal for Modesto. So even if you see it as, oh my God, he got the ball, just kick it out. He kicked it out for a reason. Great through ball from Porterville. Great shot. Just too far wide. The vision was there, just not the precision. Both teams in a bit of a tug of war. And if anyone's ever played tug of war, you know, all you got to do is just hold out longer than the other team gets tired. And that's kind of what it's looking like right now. They're looking to find a gap in one of the other team defense, and that's what'll get them their goal. Because the more tired you get, the more gaps you'll have. The more gaps you'll have, the easier it is to exploit. So whatever team gets tired first, they'll have the gap. Because right now they're playing deadlock in their own thirds. No one's able to find that final pass. Modesto City has had a few more chances at that goal in the final pass, but it hasn't been by a lot. Porterville almost had it. And I believe this is, no, Porterville Roots did play here last week. Modesto City did not. So if you're streaming in from Modesto City, this is the first time you're watching a Lightning League game this season. Congrats. You have me as your commentator, the best in the business. But I do want to say for the people tuning in from Modesto, we will not be streaming the games in Madera. However, the games in Madera should stop at the end of March. Modesto City looking for something. Can they find it right here? Takes the shot. Finally, a handball given. But we're doing it from outside the box, so it's not a PK. We're doing a free kick from right outside the box. A dangerous spot to be. But here's my hot take. If this is a free kick and not a penalty, and I don't think it's a penalty, I think it's a free kick because it was outside the box, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Okay. I objectively think this is one of the hardest free kicks you can have. There's zero room for error. You can't get it too high because then it'll go over. You can't get it too low because you're just going to hit the wall. The goalkeeper knows where you're going. You have to curve the ball into one spot. This is a dangerous spot, but it's also a really hard spot to score from. And that's going to be taken by number 20. And that's not in. And that one was also not in. Great defense from Porterville Roots. That was taken by Hector Morano, number 20. And Porterville looking for the counter. They don't have it. That was nothing. That was nothing. I agree with the ref. Good call. But we're calling another one. Porterville Roots kick. I believe there was someone in the chat that asked me about Porterville Roots for the opening match, CFC Fuego. I hadn't watched them play, but now that I have, I think they're a strong team. Again, they did add 2 new players this past week in between their loss to Kerman and today they added 2 new players. Just a reminder, the Lightning League has 11 clubs in it this season. They do trade players. Players do get signed to clubs, traded to other clubs. If you want to stay up to date with that news, make sure you follow the Lightning League on Instagram, on YouTube. If you're already watching this game, you should be subscribed already. We're going to bring you great content all season long. I'd probably be commentating more or less of the games. Here we go. Modesto City. Unfortunately, kicked it right back to the Roots. And the Roots feeling very, very comfortable in Modesto's third. They haven't been able to score, but they've also been able to keep the ball in that position for a long time. Whereas Modesto gets it in there, but only stays in there for a few seconds, a minute most, and then it goes back to the Roots. Whereas the Roots can sit in Modesto's final third. Let's see if Modesto can prove me wrong here. Easy work for goalkeeper Alberto Gutierrez. We're almost at that 40-minute mark, guys, and I know I said it earlier, but even when I said it at 30, it doesn't feel like 10 minutes has passed. It feels like 2 minutes has passed. For my soccer fans out there, you know a game like this at 0-0 is way more entertaining than a game that goes to 6-0 at halftime. We got a foul given. Free kick for Modesto City. Another close one. Or is it for Visalia? Oh, it looks like it's for Visalia. That's why Modesto City's players are dropping back. Sorry, for Porterville. My mistake. Got my Visalia brain on from the last game. Modesto gets the ball back, but unfortunately, Porterville Roots are able to make up for the mistake they just made by stopping that attack. And now they're looking for the counter. Can they find it? They go with the through ball. Unfortunately, that long ball just doesn't work. And that is met by goalkeeper Ozzy. No, yeah, I'm sorry. I said Visalia. I meant Porterville. That was just a slip up on my end. Apologies. This is Porterville Roots. Like I said, I commentated the Visalia game right now, and I was saying how this is a more entertaining game than that game. So I just got my words confused. I apologize, guys. We're looking at a Roots throw in, I believe. Don't know what we're waiting for. Waiting on. Oh, we have a sub coming in. There we go. I was like, what are we waiting for? We got a sub for Porterville Roots coming in. A sub at the 40s. That's interesting. In these lower leagues, you do see stuff like that more often rather than earlier on. I don't think anyone was playing. A lot of these players are high schoolers, by the way, and college players, but I do apologize if it's not the most entertaining. I think this game is very entertaining so far, at least. But apologies if it's not. That might be on my end too. I might be a little bit of a boring commentator. I apologize. There we go with Porterville looking for something. And again, they've been in the oh, that's a push right there, but ref did not call that. And you love to see that when Porterville gets pushed, at least they get up when there's no call. They don't stay on the ground too long. I do hate to see that personally. This game has given me a lot more to talk about than the last game. I will be honest. For the last game, I was looking for something. Other than the goals being scored, I guess, right? You can talk about that. But after 4, it just gets a little hard, you know? And it looks like we have a free kick given to Porterville. It looks like he was going to let it play through if they had advantage. They could not get advantage after that. We're almost at halftime and it is 0-0. Both teams are looking for something. I think one of them just has to find that golden opportunity and they'll get it in. I do think it's going to be a really good game. Great catch from goalkeeper Ozzy. Modesto City now has the ball looking for something, but Visalia gets it right back. Modesto's defense has been really good. However, a lot of this game has been played in Modesto's half. Porterville looking for something. Oop, just a run in. Nothing intentional. No cards given. Just free kick awarded to, I believe, Porterville. Getting a talking to from the ref, just to be careful. That didn't look intentional to me. It just looked a little bit of too much contact. Hopefully, one of these days we'll have more than one commentator. I do admit it'd be fun to riff with people. That's why I riff with you guys. That's why I ask for comments. I'm able to riff with you guys. Great block. And as these lower leagues continue, as the season goes on, I will obviously have more and more facts to have as the season develops. It is a little bit harder to get full bios from every lower league player. But like I said, as the season goes on, I have more stats from the season to talk about. Find out who gets traded. It'll be, as the season progresses, guys, things will pick up in pace. Things will get more interesting. So make sure you stick with us throughout the season. Make sure you follow the Lightning League on all social media platforms. Oh, great block. diving block from a defender kind of reminds me of the Arsenal block the other day from Calafiori. Just completely dove and gets it with the back foot. And that is halftime, ladies and gentlemen. No added time. We will be back in about 15 to 20 minutes. Stay tuned. I thought this half was pretty enthralling. Let's see if the next one is.
Sa dagat. I'm imposing real estate. We cheating with the sun. Put my name on petitions, but I won't change my mind. I'm keeping up appearances. The dark side of my privilege. Thank God I got my vibes. The dopamine tuition will keep me wrong from right. But I don't like when my better side takes hold of me. I didn't want you to know, but I guess I was scared. Please don't fail me now. I got to stand my ground. And know I'm down for trying. I am better than I am, so I don't make a sound. Please don't fail me now. I got to stand my ground. I know I'm down for trying. I am better than I cry like crocodile, then drink a blues out. I'm always out an answer. The sun shines on my mind. I wanna pray. I gotta kill this on my face, and I guess I was scared. See, don't fail me now. I got to stand my ground. I know I'm down for trying. I am better than I am, so I don't make a sound. Please don't fail me now. I got to stand my ground. I know I was down for trying. I was scared, but no blame where it's mine. And my legs are hiding why? Oh, I did not try. I was scared. Please don't fail me now. I got to stand my ground. I know I'm down for trying. I am better than I am, so I don't make a sound. Please don't fail me now. I got to stand my ground. I know I'm down for Turn your magical, let me she'd say everything about to true. We are legends every day. That's what she told me. To me she'd say, everything was a dream away. Under this pressure, under this weight, yeah, diamonds, I feel my heart beating. I feel my heart beneath my skin. I feel my heart beating. You make me feel like I'm alive again. You make me feel like I'm alive again. Say I can't go on, not in this way. I'm a dream of God by light again. Gonna hold up high the sky and say, oh yeah, oh man. I feel my heart beating. I feel my heart underneath my skin. Oh, I can feel my heart beating. 'Cause you make me feel like I'm alive again. Oh, you make me feel like I'm alive again. To be magical, and you should say everything was a dream away. Under this pressure, under this weight, we are diamonds taking shape. We are diamonds taking shape. And it's not a starry sky. My baby told me with a sigh, saying words that came across as a doubt. I reassure that every day my love is strong and gently placed in your heart. A shoulder here in the fire. Every mountain, every sea, can never stray a bird in me. No matter the state of space and time. Keep us close and keep us dear, like it's the day that every year you were made to be a focus in my mind. But if you don't want my love, be the person of your dreams. For your love and your time. If we hold in the candles of your mind. But if you don't want my love, and if you want something more, baby, say you never wanna buy love. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Come on, let me know.
I stand by that though. We are gearing up for the second half of Porterville Roots versus Modesto City FC. That first half was really, really good in my opinion. Very back and forth. No one really ran away with it, and honestly, that's what you really like to see. You like to see games go back and forth. I prefer that than seeing someone run away with it. Let's see if someone can break through with the goal. I'm your commentator, Julio C. Gonzalez Jr. If you want to leave me nice or mean comments, go ahead in the chat or follow me at That Soccer Foo on social media. We do behind the scenes for the Lightning League. We do post-game interviews. We do pre-game interviews. We'll show you what it looks like behind the cameras. Make sure to give me a follow there. Follow the Lightning League on any social media. We are getting ready. Let me know what you guys think the score of this match is going to be. Do you think Porterville is gonna score? Do you think Modesto's gonna score? You think it's gonna stay 0-0? Is someone gonna run away with it? Or we're gonna see a tie at 1-1? Who knows? Let us know what you guys think. And just for a little bit of around the league, CSC Kochek beat CV Fuego 2-0 on Thursday. On Saturday, we had 4 games. We had Selma FC versus Madera Evolution. That one ended 0-0. Madera Union lost to Atletico Kerman. Atletico Kerman beat them 4-1. San Joaquin United beat the Northeast Chicos 4-0. Clovis Mong fell to Klinga FC. Klinga FC beat them 2-1. And in the game before this, we had Visalia FC versus Livingston FC, and Visalia won 10-0. I also think it'll end 10-0 this game. It just has that kind of feel to it, you know? There we go. Oh, that was he jumped there. He did not that did not happen because he got hit. That was a not gonna say the F word. That was a jump. The 4-letter F word starts with an F, ends with a P. You're gonna try to say that word less on stream. For those not picking it up, I'm talking about the word flop. I will try to stop using that. Modesto City had a completely open goal, and Porterville could not take advantage of it. There was Modesto City trying to clear the ball, but just can't do it. Now we have a Porterville throw-in Modesto City's half. Porterville coming out swinging. And we have another Porterville throw-in. If I'm being honest, I think that was supposed to go to Modesto, but we're going to run it by VAR. I'll be back with you guys in a second. Our VAR tech, Will, says that is actually a Porterville throw-in. And now we have a Modesto kick. Free kick at that. Ref says, wait for me to blow the whistle. It's kind of a common one, kind of common sense there. Got to wait for the ref to blow the whistle. But it's okay. Modesto City is just eager. I would be too at this point of the game. Looks like we had some substitutions. I do not have number 3 on my sheet. Let me see on the roster that they gave me. Number 3 is going to be Eli Salvador. He's definitely a sub. An attacking one at that. Modesto City finding something in the middle there. Looking for the through ball. Get the through ball. Has to go through 2 Porterville defenders. Sorry, got mixed up there. And Porterville gets the ball back. That ball was out. That ball was out. However, ball has to be 100% out. Ball has been high in the air for quite some time now, about 30 seconds. And it comes down to Modesto City. They're bringing it into their own half. Hopefully they don't get punished for that. Porterville pressing real hard all game. Looking for a crack in Modesto's defense. Sometimes they find it, but they just can't get that final pass. That's been their struggle all game. And it looks like it's still their struggle in the second half. However, it's early, not even 5 minutes into it. Maybe Porterville can find something. And we got number 5 for Porterville throwing it in. Rafael Sanchez. Let us know, are you here to watch Porterville Roots or Modesto, or are you just a fan of the Lightning League and want to see how this game turns out since we don't stream them all? Let us know. Let us know who you're rooting for, who you're watching. Modesto City passing it back. Porterville Roots trying to punish them for it, and looks like they might be able to. In my opinion, I think Modesto's playing it a little too comfortably in their final third. And I think they've been doing that all game. But at the same time, Porterville has not been able to make them feel sorry for that. So if you have no issue doing it, a little bit physical, a little bit grabbing, we're grabbing. Oh, there we go. Porterville looking for a card there. Ref says no. Just the free kick. Rooting for Modesto City FC. A la Modesto, right? That's your guys' slogan. A la Modesto. That's a good one. I think it's ironic rooting for Modesto rather than rooting for the Roots. And it looks like that's not going out. So Porterville's going to have to make contact with it and do something with it. They were hoping it would go out a little bit faster. Modesto City able to block it. Good block. Leads to a through ball, but unfortunately just not enough precision on that ball. And it goes straight back to Porterville, but Modesto gets it back. They're able to still attack. They're able to press. Can they find that last pass that they've been lacking? Good pass, but unfortunately just too far behind. And Porterville gets the ball back. Porterville gets it out of there, looking for good clearance, and they are calmed down. Now they're the ones attacking, and it looks like we're going to have a Porterville Roots throw-in. I do feel like I'm commentating USL right now. I keep saying the Roots, Oakland Roots. But it's Porterville Roots. Shout out to anyone who watches USL. Can they do something there? No. Modesto City's defense is all over it, looking for the attack. I was about to say the through ball wasn't there, but the defender jumped too soon, and it looked like Modesto was about to get through, but Porterville, unfortunately, couldn't do much there. Goes right back to Modesto. There was Modesto with the long ball. Almost there. Not enough power on it. Porterville Roots number 4 is able to make contact with it. And that's it here, Ramos. Almost there. Just not close enough. Goalkeeper gets it before there's any trouble. Any real trouble, at least. Might have clinched up a little there in every muscle of his body, but he got it. Was that a scorpion defense kick? What are we seeing today? Or was that a bicycle? I just saw him fall. Was that an offsides? I think that was an offsides given. Yeah, it was. Reaching about 10 minutes in the second half. Modesto City looking for something. Porterville able to stop it, clears it, but it goes right back to Modesto City. Modesto City on the verge of something. You can just feel it. Unfortunately, that was not what they were on the verge of. Modesto City, I'm assuming you guys have a pretty big fan base with how spread out you guys are. Gotta be pretty big. We got people saying it's going to be a 0-0 game. I kind of am starting to agree with that. However, with Modesto City looking like that, I think they might be able to get one. And I think Porterville has I don't know. I'm saying it's 0-0, but then I'm like, oh, they both have a shot at scoring. What am I saying? I'm a flip-flop, guys. Oh, no, I said the word. Porterville cutting that attack out, but not enough. Yes, enough. This is ticky-tacky going back and forth. 1 minute I think they have it, the next they don't. Feels like a magic trick. Now you see me, now you don't. Porterville's keeping it now. Can Modesto get that? That's ball. Whoa, that is. I think that has to be a yellow. No yellow, just a free kick. I think this ref has to book somebody. I think this game's getting a little rough. I think he needs to set a precedent. I think he needs to give out a yellow. Hate to say it. I hate to say that, but again, earlier when I was like, oh, they can actually tackle. They can. However, there comes a point where you're just wrestling with each other's legs. That's not soccer. So the ref's talking to him. Ref needs to draw a card. I think he's calling a good fouls. Let's go to the free kick. Modesto City. That's stopped by Porterville. Nobody's there to make contact with it. Modesto's trying to get back to it. Modesto boots it out of here. Into a tree. Hopefully there was not a cat in there, because that would be dead. That was a boot. They booted that into that tree. That's how ferocious that kick was. Can Porterville do it? Can they score? So close yet so far. Aussie goalkeeper was spared there. And that is number 3, Eli Salvador. Just puts it too far to the right. I agree in the final third. It looks like the strikers just can't get the ball. I don't know if it's whether to credit the strikers or fault the strikers or to credit the defenders, because I will admit the defending on both teams is pretty good in their own third. But I do agree the strikers have to find a position in there. That is what their job is. They got to find a gap in those defenses and maneuver through them. Unfortunately, they're not able to. No foul given. And Porterville was able to stop Modesto. That was one-on-one, defender and striker, and Porterville shuts it out. Pretty physical game, but ref is not calling everything. And therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem, right? Just a heads up, we're okay with playful banter. Anything too profane will not be shown in the chat. Just a heads up. Almost looks like they had something there. Again, game getting pretty physical. I'm thinking the ref needs to. I hate to say it, but I think ref needs to card somebody. Obviously, not just anybody. He's not just gonna pull out a random card and be like, "Hey, you." But he needs to card the next physical foul like that. I think that's important. Approaching minute 60. A third of the way through of this second half. Modesto City struggling in their own half because Porterville is pressing them. Both teams very desperate to score. You got to give credit to Modesto City. They won last week, I believe, against was it San Joaquin United or Livingston FC. They won 4-1. And Porterville lost to Atletico Kerman. They didn't score a single goal last game. Looking to score a goal today. Playing very good defense. They're going to have a Porterville throw in. Everyone pushing in. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Lightning League TV. Again, that's not really our official name. I'm working on making it our official name. Nobody listens to my suggestions, dude. I'm just kidding. I love everybody here. They're all great. That was a little joke. Porterville Roots playing it risky, but it looks like it paid off. Or not. Modesto City comes in on it. Intercepts that long ball from the goalkeeper. And Modesto City takes a shot. Not enough precision. But was the power there? Absolutely. Hopefully, once these games start to get played at Blackbeard's, you guys can come check it out. I know it's a far drive from Modesto, but it's going to be a nice field. Should be worth it. We do encourage people to come out to the game still. Next Saturday, all the games will be held at Madera. Wednesdays, and Thursdays game will be held here at the Fuego Complex. And lastly, the games next Sunday will also be held here at the Fuego Training Complex. And you see, that's what I'm talking about right there. They're just not able to connect in that final third. Hopefully they can find something, anything. Both teams looking and acting a little bit desperate. But again, you cannot blame them. Porterville Roots, again, looking to score for the first time this season. And Modesto City looking to be third in the league. If they win this game, they are third on the table. Doesn't matter about how much they win. They got to win by quite a few to pass up Kerman, I believe. I think they'd have to score like 4 goals to pass up Kerman to be second. So I don't see that happening in the next 15 minutes. Especially if Porterville can do something here. Nothing. And it's not a corner. We're calling goal kick. Never mind. We're doing a corner. We got a corner come in. I believe this is the first corner of the half, if I'm not mistaken. It takes the corner from Porterville Roots. Straight up grabbed by the goalie. A little extra contact going down. Here comes Modesto City looking for the counter. Too much on that touch. Jukes out one of the defenders. 2 defenders. Took on 2 defenders. There's the shot. That's out. That's out. What a save from Alberto Gutierrez from the Porterville Roots. What a shot from Modesto. Absolute power behind that. That was not going to hit the crossbar. That was going to go straight in if it wasn't for Alberto Gutierrez, that goalkeeper, coming in and stopping that. Beautiful shot from Modesto City, by the way. Those are the kind of shots you want to see them take. It was a good shot, but it was just even better goalkeeping. He gets himself up there, extends the hand, and is able to pop it out. Great goalkeeping. Here comes the corner from Modesto City. Can they get it in? Alberto punched it out, but apparently they could not clear it. His defense could not help him out there. And with the contact goes down. So we're going to have a free kick from Modesto. Pretty much a corner. Again, big shout out to your refs. It's important to shout those guys out. I know a lot of people are not agreeing with Joe Flores' officiating, but he's being pretty consistent with it. And there comes pretty much the corner. And we have a Modesto City player down. Looks like, no, he's down. Down for the count, at least for now. No, he's getting up. Never mind. He looks like he's okay. Him and the goalkeeper went one-on-one. And it looks like we're coming to a stop. Oh, no, goal kick. So we're going to go ahead and let the goalie kick that. A lot of contact for these corners. And I know that was a free kick, not a corner. But it was in the same spot, guys. Give me a break. I'm going to call that a corner. So in that free kick corner, a lot of contact. In the corner before that from Modesto City, a lot of contact. When Porterville was down here for the corner, a lot of contact. So there's a lot of contact in these corners. Looking like Arsenal out here. Porterville Roots was trying to make a header with that ball. Could not get contact with it. Can Porterville score here? Modesto City is kind of all on them. A little bit of a pull. Luckily, he did not get that called. In my opinion, and again, here we go. Can Porterville score off right this? Number 8. Can he take the shot? Takes the shot. Stopped by Ozzy Avalos, goalkeeper number 1. And we have somebody down on Modesto City. So I was talking down on flopping earlier, on acting, on diving. Right there, I think he should have done it. When he got pulled, I really think he should have. That was contact. It was clear you got pulled. You wanted the foul after you lost possession. Unfortunately, that's not how it worked because you had advantage up until that point. So if you wanted the foul, you should have just fallen. And he was pulling you. You would have gotten it. You would have gotten that call. The ref's calling stuff like that right now. So if you want that call, you got to go down as soon as it happens. You can't play advantage and then be like, where's my foul, ref? But again, what do I know? I'm just sitting in the shade as a commentator. It's a lot easier to say this stuff from here. Porterville Roots looking for something. There's no way he doesn't call that. Ref does not call that. Again, I'm not agreeing with these calls, but he's consistently doing that for both sides, not calling stuff. So you just there we got an offsides call. That's the first whistle we've heard in a while, huh, guys? What do you guys think so far? Are these fouls that should be called? Is the ref getting them right? Do you guys like the physicality? Do you want it to be a little less? Obviously, we can't change it, but just let us know. Interesting conversation to be had about that. I think he should be blowing the whistle a little more. I think the game's getting a little out of control. That's definitely offsides. Flag is not raised, not offsides. Maybe just the angle I'm at. They're looking for something, Porterville Roots. Did they find it? No. Go straight to Modesto City, and they launch to the other side of their half. Unfortunately, we have a foul given right there. That first one was nothing. I am talking to goalkeeper Ozzy. You guys can run that back. He lost the ball and went down. I'm not going to say that word. I'm just going to say he lost the ball and went down. I don't believe any contact was made. Also, again, whenever I give these takes, these opinions, guys, they're my opinion. I don't think they're true. It's just what I think and what I think based off what I'm seeing. Just keep that in mind. So if you have an issue with anything that you hear, direct it towards me. Porterville Roots actually have a women's team playing this season. And I say actually because I believe only 4 clubs of the clubs that are entering for the women's league have a associated team with the Lightning League. That would be Selma FC's, Madera Evolutions, Porterville Roots, and the Fuego. I believe those are the only ones with the club. Whoever just commented that is the word I'm trying not to say as much because I don't want to. But yes, yes, you are correct, sir. That was not, that wasn't anything. To be fair, though, the ones that are actually fouls aren't being called either. So it's hard to be like, hey, watch out for the diving, but don't. I don't know. It's weird. What are we doing? Porterville Roots running off the field. Are we doing a water break? Looks like we're doing a water break. It's a little hot out here. Ref, go ahead and give it away. He gave it the okay. So we're doing a water break. It is a little warm in the Central Valley. If you're not from the Central Valley, it does get hot. As the days go on, though, it's just going to get hotter and hotter. And as it gets hotter and hotter, there'll be a little bit more water breaks you'll see in halves. Thank you for that compliment, by the way. I appreciate that. To be fair, the ref is not calling a lot of the dives, like I said, so that I can't complain too much. But there is a lot of that going on right now. I think he has to call the ones that are actual fouls, though, because earlier in the game it was getting a little rough and he wasn't calling anything. I think for those more rough ones, he needs to lay down the law and give a yellow. For the dives, he needs to address that, but I mean, it's unfortunately a part of modern day soccer. So what can you do? It's a problem in every league. Free kick for Porterville. Let's see if they can get it in the box. Unfortunately, that is too high. We have about 20 minutes left of this game. Is somebody going to score? At this point, I don't think so. I think this game ends 0-0. And that being said, I think if somebody does score, I believe that will be the winning score. And can it be Modesto? Looking for that through ball. Getting the through ball. Hits the post. Hits the crossbar. Hits the sidebar. How does that happen? How does that happen? Hits the post. Hits the cross. The soccer gods are frowning on Modesto City. That could be the only thing, only explanation. The soccer god said, not today, at least not there. Two absolute bullets to the goal. You can still hear the goal reverberating. Porterville feeling very lucky right now, as they should. Modesto feeling robbed, as they should. Not by anyone in particular, just by fate. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen a post hit and then a crossbar hit in the matter of, that was like 5 seconds. That was a 5-second span. Have you guys seen anything like that? That was crazy. Wow. Porterville are sweating for 2 different reasons right now. They feel like they walked away. Again, real lucky right there. The game could easily be 1-0 in Modesto's favor. And now they're looking for the counter. Good through ball. Good pass on the right. Looking to go in the box. Modesto City said, no, not today. Get that out of here. Modesto City has to be feeling unlucky from that. How do you fans feel after seeing that? Ref said play, fair play. That has to be called. Okay. That's a good call. That is not a good free kick, but Modesto City recovers it. Just a reminder, Modesto City has a team for NISA, the National Independent Soccer Association. Oof, a little push, a little. They're getting a little chirpy on this field. A little shovey. That's nothing right there. Uh, wow, you accidentally closed YouTube at the worst part. I'm so sorry. So Modesto City, uh, two bullets. One hits the cross. One hits the post. Comes back to Modesto City. They shoot it again. Another bullet hits the crossbar. A post and a crossbar hit literally within a 5-second span of each other. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. It was insane. The soccer gods were not in your guys' favor there. Looks like we got our first yellow on Modesto City. That'll be the first booking of the day. That'll be number 8 for Modesto City. Number 8, Ruiz. He is a defender. So that means he's going to have to play a little more laid back. Great header from Porterville. Unfortunately, Ozzy is there for it. Now Modesto City looking for the counter. Don't worry, Luis. All the games are posted on YouTube after the fact. So if you want to go ahead and run that back, I do think we're on the 70-minute mark. That goes for everybody, by the way, not just Luis. If you guys ever want to watch these back, make sure you do. If you're going against Visalia pretty soon, you might want to watch theirs because we only have one taping for them, and that was crazy. Clearance from Porterville Roots. And it looks like Modesto City's going to have another sub in. Not to plug myself too much, but just a reminder, guys, you want any behind the scenes Lightning League, any pre or post game interviews, anything like that, make sure you follow me at That Soccer Foo. Make sure you follow the Lightning League. We'll be posting content all season long. In the game before this, we had a post or pre and a post game interview with 2 different Visalia FC players. Make sure you check that out. Again, the Lightning League on social. Can Porterville do something here? They shoot straight into goalkeeper hands. But yeah, any behind the scenes content, anything you guys want to see, please comment it on one of those pages. Let us know. We're always open for what the public has to say. And here comes Modesto City looking for something. Porterville looking good, but again, very lucky those shots did not go in for Modesto City. Could be looking at a very different game if either one of those was an inch closer to the goal. That goes in. Porterville with the shot, and it's not on target. A little too far to the right. We got a goal kick coming. We're in the 78th minute of this really intense soccer match. A little over 10 minutes of regular time to play. Is somebody going to score? Golazo! Gol, 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 gol! Porterville Roots score on what was like the slowest rolling ever after goalkeeper Ozzy made contact with it. That is Porterville Roots' first goal of the season, and it could not have come at a better time. And that was scored by number 14, Ivan Camargo. Ivan Camargo scored that one. One of their new signings, like I said at the beginning of the match, they signed 2 new players. and he was one of them. And it looks like he made an impact real quick. That shot was blocked by goalkeeper Ozzy, by the way. There was just way too much power behind it, and it only hit his fingertips. So it slow rolled in to the goal. We all actually paused, waiting for to see if it was going in or not. It was a banger. That was an absolute banger of a shot. And now Roots are up 1-0. That honestly felt like a commentator's curse right there. I was like, someone gonna score, and then as soon as I say that, ball goes back to the net. I'm sorry, Modesto City fans. I thought it was gonna be you guys, truly, because of the way you guys were playing, but this game has been very back and forth, so it just needed one moment, and it looks like Porterville Roots are the first one to get that moment. That moment. Can they get another one? Ozzy has been playing a decent game so far. I will say he's been on top of a lot of things. He's very communicative with his team. I don't want to give him too much of a hard time. He blocked the shot. That shot was just what do you do when you can make contact with it and it rolls that slow in? I think you have to have a defender back there to help you out. I don't think that's the full goalkeeper's fault. But again, what do I know? I'm just a commentator. Now Modesto City going full on with the attack. I think they might be able to find something. I did say though, I think whoever scores first would be the only one to score. Let's see if I was can be proven wrong. I hope I am. I love seeing goals, duh. And there's the word I'm not gonna say. I will say there was no contact made with that Porterville player. Great shot, but goalkeeper able to bounce it up and make contact with it. That's Alberto Gutierrez. He's been playing a great game today. Number 21. He had shots he's had to block. Modesto City under the ball instead of kicking it and lost their footing, but able to keep possession of it. Now looking for something, unaware that there is a Visalia player behind or Porterville player behind him. I think he realized that, got rid of the ball. Porterville's able to make contact with it. Is that a through ball that can be had with? Goalkeeper jumps in the air, double punches it. Probably should have grabbed it because now Modesto City is able to do it. 13 falls with minimal contact from Porterville. Lots going on right there. Hopefully, I was able to guide you guys through it. Porterville Roots able to get it into Modesto's half. Modesto thinking he passed it away far enough. He did. But unfortunately, the goalie made too much of it, and Porterville is the one that meets that ball. Porterville looking for another goal. Porterville looking to shoot. Modesto looking to block it. Porterville probably should have shot it a little bit sooner. Shoots it. Blocked. What a goal! Goal, 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 goal! Porterville Roots with a phenomenal goal. And that was scored by Eric Rincon, their captain. What a volley. What an absolute goal. I will say, where's Modesto's defense there? Ozzy was doing all he could. You can't be all over the place. He blocked like 2 shots right there. Got no help from his defense whatsoever on that shot. Absolute banger of a goal. Absolute banger of a goal. Again, that's your captain, number 8, Eric Rincon. Puts Porterville up 2-0. What an absolute finish. We don't want to, give too much attention to the haters, but I think this is more interesting than a high school game now. We're reaching the 85th minute, only 5 minutes. Crazy that both of the goals were scored pretty much in the 80th minute. And you really just go back to thinking what would have happened if one of those two shots that hit the post or the crossbar went in from Modesto. Would this have been a very different game? I really think so. But that's not what happened. And what did happen is Porterville Roots rallied, and now they're up 2-0. So Modesto City, number 10, Osvaldo Yepes, the top scorer of the league last year, got a red on the. I was muted. Apologies. It looks like Modesto City got a red card on their bench for malicious words. Don't know what was said. Don't know what happened. Number 10, Osvaldo Yepes, also the top scorer of the league last season. Audio did cut out. I do apologize, but I accidentally muted it because I had information about the red. So I had to pause it real quick to see what happened with that red. But again, red was given to Modesto City's bench, number 10, Osvaldo Yepes, for malicious words, apparently. Don't know what was said. That's just the information I got. Modesto City with the free kick. Almost there, just a little over that bar. Again, apologies for the audio cut. Just a reminder, red cards means no playing in the next match. And you got a red card on the bench. One of the worst places to get a red card. I don't know. I don't even think I've ever heard of someone getting a red card on the bench. A yellow on the bench, I've heard of that, but a red? You got to think he's pretty frustrated. Got subbed out early on. Maybe that's why he said something. Felt like he could have done something in the game. But just absolute poor decision from number 10, Osvaldo Yepes, to get a red on the bench. Will not play in the next game. Oop. Contact between Porterville players themselves. They ran into each other just there. We have a man down. Reaching the 89th minute. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me now, correct? Audio is back on? We are good. Cool. Game's almost over. We're in the 89th minute. We had this injury at the last second. They're up 2-0. You as the ref, do you call it at the 90th minute or do you extend it a little bit? I think you extend it a little bit. That's just me personally. Porterville fans, what a win today. Absolute what a win. Your first win of the season, your first goals. And that looks like that's going to be number 6 coming off the field. Number 6, Angel Morales. I'll be honest, I didn't see this game ending 2-0. And if it did, I'll also be honest, I didn't think it was going to be in Porterville's favor. And I don't mean any disrespect by that. It was just the game was going in such a Modesto direction. I'm really surprised that Porterville was able to pull through. I'm glad they were though. You like to see parity in the league, you know? I would love Modesto to be great. I would love Modesto to be the team that's like, we're going to take on Visalia. But if that happens to be Porterville, that's Porterville. Sometimes you don't get the best footing after your first game. This is the inaugural club. They have to find their footing. They have to find their identity. You know what I mean? I am actually really excited for next week's game. I'm really excited for Porterville versus Visalia. That'll be on Thursday. This week's game. I keep saying next week. It'll be Porterville versus Visalia. And that's gonna be a good one, especially coming off this win. They're gonna feel you gotta feel really good coming off this win. You know what I mean? And we have reached the 90th minute. We are the 91st minute. I don't know how much time was added. We're gonna work on finding this kind of stuff out, guys. And we got a pool. We either got an offsides or a pool. I'm not sure what we're doing here. We got a yellow card on Modesto. I think it's for flopping. Not sure what that was given for. Make sure you guys tune in. We got games lined up for you Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Again, not Saturday, not yet. Those will be in Madeira. I do imagine this game is going to be called soon. Let's see. And there is the final whistle. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate you. Make sure you tune in next or this Wednesday, this Thursday, and this Sunday. Again, Madeira games will not be filmed. Porterville Visalia, that one will be streamed. I I think that's going to be a really good game. It's going to be really aggressive, really physical. Make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you follow the Lightning League on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on TikTok. Follow us everywhere. I'm your commentator, Julio C. Gonzalez. You can follow me at that soccer fool on any of those platforms I just listed. Thank you guys and have a great night.